Hey man, say man, it's your boy Ink in the Brain, man. We back at it like a bad habit. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Man, I got a really important video today, man. This is for the youth. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about lifers in prison who have false hope that they're gonna come home. In particular, I'm gonna touch on the O Block 6 situation. You know, you got Muwop and all them out in Chicago who got convicted of FBG Duck's murder out there, and it's looking like they're gonna get life in the Fed. So we're gonna have an important conversation today, all right? So y'all hit the like button. Um, so as you know, I did 2 years in the joint, right? And for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, right? Which, if you haven't seen my previous videos on what sent me to the joint, go check them out. But long story short, my case, it sounds worse than what it was, but it is what it is, right? So they sent me to a 3 yard. Mind you, this is my first case. First case and everything. I only got 2 years, right? I was facing 7. They gave me 2. It's very rare for you to go to a 3 yard when you only got 2 years. The reason they sent me to a 3 yard is because of the violent nature of my case. Now, when I was on that 3 yard, I was surrounded by lifers. One of my best homies in there was a lifer. He had 25 to life, so say they still consider that a lifer because anytime you got that L, you a lifer, bro. Because it ain't a guarantee that you're gonna come home, right? And he had a good spirit about himself. You know, he was doing a lot of time, but he also knew that he was gonna come home, and he is gonna come home, man. He got like 7 more to go off that 25, and then he'll be up for parole. Um, you know, he's not a guy that gets into a lot of trouble and things like that, so he's gonna go home, right? Um, Another life that sticks out to me was this white dude that was in my cell block. Um, Fuck, I'll say his name. His name was Josh, right? Now he was convicted of some heinous stuff. Like apparently he actually killed his parents back when he was young, when he was like 16 or 17. Long story short, they gave him life. Now he had and he was a real cool dude. He kind of like a hippie kind of dude, but he always worked out, always running laps, working out every day. And he was like, I think he was like mid to early 50s. So he's been down a very very long time. Long hair white dude, right? But down to earth dude, man. I didn't know what he was down for a while until I found out, and it kind of made me look at him a little bit different. But hey, everybody in the pen is down for something, right? Now, you know, looks can kind of be deceiving, but you never know what somebody is capable of just by what they look like, right? But anyway, the reason he had hope that he was gonna get out is because they actually passed a law uh, out here saying that I don't know if it's a national law or if it was just out here in the state, but basically saying that anybody that got life as a juvenile, I think before the age of 25 or something like that, they'll actually get a chance to go see parole because they found that it was unconstitutional because the mind isn't fully developed until 25. You know what I mean? That type of deal. So he was excited about his coming up appeal and things like that. So in these kind of situations, fellas, what I'm trying to get at is, uh, you know, there's a difference between having faith, like having realistic faith, and then just having blind faith, right? In those two situations, those guys have realistic faith for proper reasons. So I say that to say this. Getting back to the O Block cats, right? So, well, let me kind of break down the story first, right? So you got, if y'all are not in tune, right? So you got, you know, Chicago gang wars going on between like the BDs, GDs, and all this stuff, right? Um, you got, like the rapper Lil Durk, King Von, you know, they on one side, and then you got FBG Doug, FBG Cash, all them cats on the other side, right? And the cold part about it is a lot of these cats are dying. You know, like I said, Cash is dead, FBG Duck is dead. Um, a lot of King Von is dead. The list goes on and on and on. Lil Durk's brother D thing got killed. I mean, they just killing people like they kill people like people would fight. Like, you know, you catch a fade, it's like, oh, you shot somebody, they died, okay, another person died. It's crazy. Um, So so basically what happened was FBG Doug, again, Chicago rapper, uh, he was shopping downtown in what they call the Gulf Coast, right? Which is like a designer district. They got the Montclair store, they got Fendi, all that, right? And he went out there to buy clothes for his son's birthday. Turns out that one of his ops, his name, he goes by Teasy, he was in the store and he seen FBG Duck like outside or in the store or whatever. So he hop on the horn, get in contact with his people. He trying to contact D-Thing, matter of fact, from what I understand. He hop on the horn like, man, hey, what's D-Thing number? Yeah, I just seen FBG Duck. What's D-Thing number? What's D-Thing number? So, long story short, he get in contact with Muwop. It was like it's six of them. It was Muwop, C Murder, what's some other cast names, man? You know, it's a few of them. If you just Google it, their names will pop up, right? But for purposes of this video, I'm gonna zoom in on Muwop specifically, right? But I'll get there in a second. Long story short, they all on video too, because they got cameras in O Block, which is the hood they from. They get the call, they see Murder, Muwop and them run upstairs. I don't know if they grabbed their blick, whatever, ran back down, hop in the car. They drive down to the Gulf Coast. The cameras are monitoring the whole time. Follow them from O Block to the Gulf Coast. They bounce out on FBG Duck, shoot him hella times, and hit his girl, right? The girl that he was with, she got shot in the hand, but she busted back though. Which, man, shout out to her, man, because look, man, I ain't no gangster or nothing. I'm really not. But I've been around a shootout. Like I was involved in a shootout, not me personally, but like I was. That came out wrong. I was in a place where a shootout happened close to me, and when them shots start flying near you and things like that, it's very, very scary. I dipped. I ain't gonna lie. I ran my ass. I tripped and everything. Scratched my elbow up and everything. You feel me? I'm trying to get out of there. But it's scary to be involved in a shootout with all them gunshots going off, man. So for her to have the wherewithal to pull out her strap and bust back while getting shot, that shows a lot. So shout out to her for trying to protect her and her man, right? But anyway, it bounced out, hit up FBG Duck, and then they leave and skirt off. Broad daylight, mind you. Broad daylight, middle of downtown Chicago, no masks. I mean, certified crash out mission, in my opinion. But it just goes to show you how strong the hate is for the enemy, especially in Chicago. If you willing to put your life on the line and bounce on your enemy broad day, no mask, no nothing like that to try to cover your identity or nothing, that just goes to show you like them boys wanted them out of there by any means necessary, right? So so they get off, right? They get off the scene, make their way back to the hood and everything, and seemingly got away with it for a while, right? Now, these guys didn't do themselves any justice. You know, there's a couple of videos of these dudes going online and kind of hinting at the hit. Specifically, Muwop, he had bought some Gucci shoes with Donald Duck on it, and it had like a flash camera on it. And then he make this long post on Instagram, basically insinuating like, yeah, Duck got flashed. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you kind of read between the lines, now you see what he was talking about, which ironically is going to give him a lot of time in the joint, right? But we'll get there. So, okay, boom. So they hit Duck, right? Seemingly get away with it for like a couple years before they get indicted, like one or 2 years, whatever, right? And so, number one, let me touch on this too, right? I need to frame this properly because I don't want to seem like I'm condoning violence, right? But guys, I get it, right? If somebody kills one of yours, you're going to want to take one of theirs, right? It's kind of like human nature, right? In the same way as, here in the U.S., we retaliate when, somebody from Iran or somebody like that, they kill one of our soldiers, well, we gonna go right over there, bomb them, and kill 30 of theirs, or whatever the case is, right? As a matter of fact, there was just an attack, I want to say it was yesterday, the day before, 3 U.S. soldiers got killed in Jordan, and Joe Biden's talking about, yeah, we're gonna get some get back, basically, right? So I don't want to condone killing, but at the same time, these gangs, the gang violence is kind of the same thing. You take one of mine, all right, we're gonna retaliate, take one of yours. If somebody innocent gets hit in the process, it's a casualty of war. So it's kind of messed up to say, but that's how it goes, right? So I get it. You wanna get your get back. Okay, cool. But there's supposed to be a smarter way to go about doing this, right? I mean, for you to crash out, you get a call from your homie saying the ops is outside, and for y'all to go down there with no mask, broad day, bounce out and do your thing, and like, you really think you're gonna get away with this? It's like, bro, that's a crash out mission in my opinion. There is probably a smarter way to go about doing that, but hey, I guess maybe they felt like maybe they had a hard time seeing Duck in public, and this was their one chance to get him gone. That's what they did, right? But yeah, in my opinion, I think the O Block 6, C Murder and them, they crashed out. There was a better way they could have went about doing that hit. But like I said, I'm not condoning violence, but we would be disingenuous to say that we don't do the same thing in the United States when it comes to war. You know what I mean? But anyway, so touching on what I really want to touch on in this video, right? This is really for the youth. Muwop, right? Now, Muwop was real close friends to Vaughn. And I didn't realize how young Muwop is. Muwop is only 24 years old. And Muwop was there when King Von got killed. Actually, side note, when I got sentenced, right? This was in October of 2020. They put me in the county, and I'm sitting in the county waiting to get to prison. And county jail is trash. I mean, it's so trash. It's so boring. But luckily, I had some money. I had some money in my books in there. Well, not on my books, but on my tablet, right? So I had a tablet, and I remember this was like my 9th or 10th day. I'm scrolling through the tablet. I'm going through the TMZ app, and then a notification pops up. Actually, no, this was this is like my 10th or 11th day or something like that. A notification pops up on the TMZ app saying that King Von got killed. And I was like, dang, Von got killed, because I was listening to Elias music right before I got booked and things like that, right? So, because I rock with Von's music, even though he glorified the hell out of violence, but it is what it is. But yeah, so I read the article. He got killed in Atlanta. Messing around with Quando Rondo, and Lil Tim had shot him, right? Quando Rondo's muscle basically had killed King Von, right? And I was just like, damn. But turns out Muwop was there, and Muwop basically seen Von got shot and everything, right? So you would think he would have some kind of scar mentally from that, and he would probably want to learn from that and probably kind of get away from the street life, right? But nah. But when you that young, you turned up, you in the streets, you kind of got this complex, you know what I mean? Especially, like, I think he had punched Quando, like, I think Muwop had, like, punched Quando, if I'm not mistaken, when Quando was on or something like that. I was reading something like that, right? But basically, Muwop was there when Von got killed. So fast forward to this, right? You seen when your good homies get killed, you in a situation where you go on a hit, you think you got away with it, now you get booked, right? Okay, boom. So you're 24 years old, you were facing, well, from what I heard, the feds offered these guys like a 50-year plea deal, right? Like a 55-year plea deal. 55 years. So what does that tell you? The feds already have a very, very high conviction rate, right? They gonna offer you 55 years for a plea deal. That means if you blow trial, bro, you're doing life. Like, there is no, you're done. And the arrogance of these guys to take this shit to trial, it blows my mind. Y'all had no mask on, broad day, and when you're going through trial, well, not trial, but when you're going through pre-trial, you know what I mean? You're going to get what's called discovery. Excuse me. And the discovery is basically going to break down your case, the evidence against you, and all this stuff, right? Like when I got my discovery, like I knew I was done. I'm like, man, I'm not taking this to trial. Like, man, what's the best deal I could get? You feel me? But for them to take this to trial is just stupid. But I get it. When you young and you facing 55 years, ain't nobody really gonna take that. You might as well get life, right? But you need to understand, like some laws can change and things like that. But once you get life, bro, you're basically done. So okay, so then these guys take it to trial. And mind you, one of them killed themselves. I forget his name. Zell Muna, Zell Money, or whatever they call him, Zell, right? He actually killed himself. Like after, I think after they heard that the feds was after him, he offed himself. Like he already knew that he was done, so he killed himself, right? Just goes to show you, like he probably already had a heavy heart knowing what he did, and then come to find out the feds was on him. He was like, man, I'm out. So he checked himself out. But anyway, y'all. So they blow trial. Now they looking at life, right? Now the reason why I'm focusing on Muwop is because he was the youngest one. You feel me? And he started to rap, and his videos started going up. Like he had a promising rap career ahead of him, just to crash out like this. And then now, he's on his Instagram saying, "Oh yeah, y'all pray for me, and oh, I'll be home soon." Right? So this is really what I want to focus on, right? So number one, if you're gonna be that gangster to bounce out on broad day and kill somebody, you know what I mean, and then have the nerve to hop on social media and lightweight brag about it subliminally, you know what I mean? You're basically doing the feds work for them. Like, bro, nah, bro, don't talk all this pray for me shit now and want to get into worshiping the Lord and all this shit now. No, hell no. You was on demon time when you was free, Brody. One of your best homies, King Von, was an alleged serial killer, and y'all glorified this shit. So don't be all scary now that you got to go sit down for the rest of your life in the joint, bro. That ain't how this is supposed to work. You got to keep that same energy, homie. I'm just saying though. I mean, you could humble yourself and realize the wrongs that you did, but no, you gotta keep that gangster persona up though in the joint, buddy, because you gonna have a hard time not accepting what you did and then try to switch up. Like hell nah. A lot of people love Duck. I'm pretty sure. You feel me? And I know in the feds is statewide, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna do time in Chicago or Illinois. But chances are, at some point in your life, you're gonna run into one of Duck's associates, fans, family, whatever, right? So I want y'all to understand, man, the things that y'all doing on the streets, whether you robbing, you a shooter, killer, you're a scammer, you know what I'm saying? These things come with consequences. A lot of time, dire consequences, especially if you playing with guns and you shooting people, robberies, things like that. You gonna end up doing a lot of time, bro. And if you a gang member, you a gang banger and all that stuff, bro, don't talk all that prayer stuff now. You gotta keep the same energy, bro. You had ample chances to change your life around, but and you didn't. So you better stand on business. Number two, he's talking about, oh yeah, I'll be home soon, and this is the false hope that I'm talking about, bro. You're not coming home soon, Muwop. I'm sorry to say, bro, you're not. They offered you 55 years and you blew trial, bro. You're not coming home soon. You're going to get a life sentence in the feds, which means that you're going to do life in the feds. You know what I'm saying? Now, the bright side about this is being in the feds, you're going to get to travel a lot. So, yeah, so maybe you'll do some time in West Virginia, for 3-4 years. Then you'll get shipped down to Florida. And then maybe you'll come to Arizona, and then maybe you'll go to California. So you'll be getting to travel a little bit, but that's about it, bro. You're going to do the rest of your life in the joint, bro. You're not coming home soon. And this is just typical lifer talk. A lot of lifers, they'll say, oh, yeah, I'm coming home soon. I got an appeal. There was this in my case, and this in my case, and that in my case. Bro, you're not coming home, dog. Like I said, I gave you guys a couple examples in the beginning of the video of realistic hope. Like, yeah, if you got 25 to life or a number with a life on the end of it, then yeah, you got some hope. You know what I mean? Or if a law does change, then yeah, you might have some hope. But bro, no, you turned down a plea deal, you blew trial in a high profile murder case. You're not coming home, fam. So and this isn't to talk bad about Muwop or even really necessarily talk bad about anybody else who's in these same situations. I want you youngsters to know that when you're playing with these guns and you're shooting people and you're doing things like that, armed robberies and things like that, you're gonna end up doing a lot of time, bro. They don't play with them types of crimes. Even fraud. I've seen dudes get hung for fraud. One of my neighbors, um, had got 8 years for credit card fraud. That's a lot of time, in my opinion, for a nonviolent crime. 8 years. Another dude I did time with. He got 12 years for organized retail theft. Organized retail theft. Basically running into stores, stealing stuff, getting TVs and things like that on a large scale, gotten 12 years. So, I mean, hell, you can get 12 years for manslaughter. So the punishment doesn't fit the crime, in my opinion, but hey, it doesn't matter what my opinion is. It matters what the state and the feds think, y'all. So just be mindful when you're playing with guns and running these scams and doing fraud and armed robberies, robbing banks and all this stuff, bro. You're going to get hit in the head, man. But even then, you're going to have a date when you're doing those kinds of things. Armed robbery, things like that. You're going to get a lot of time, at least you got a date. But when you play with that, when you're doing that murder game, when you laying that murder game down, bro, you're going to get a lot of time, fellas. So just be careful what y'all doing. I would advise y'all to not play with guns and not shoot people unless it's in self-defense. Me personally, I love guns. I really do. I love guns. I plan on getting my guns rights back. Like I actually have I won't say a fantasy, but I have a vision in my head where I want to buy property like somewhere in the cuts, like Oklahoma or something like that, and have a backyard full with a gun range. And I just want to have like 200 guns, rifles, pistols, ARs, all that shit, and just be able to go outside my backyard and have target practice. Like, I love guns, but I don't believe in, doing reckless stuff with guns, shooting people, using them for the wrong reasons. I'm all for self-defense, but once you get a call from your homie saying, hey, the ops is down here, and you bounce out, broad day, no mask, bro, you crashed out, bro. You threw your life away. You dig what I'm saying? You threw your life away. You had a promising rap career. You had a name for yourself. You could have made something of yourself. But now you're going to rot in prison, eating soups, eating packaged tunas and processed chicken packets and roast beef packets. And, now you got to live around men the rest of your life and get your hair retwisted by other men. And the only hope you have is to knock a CO or knock a nurse. You feel me? If you got a mouthpiece and you look good or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you got your body right, then you might be able to knock a nurse. I kind of had a situation where I feel like I could have knocked a nurse. I don't think I told that story on my channel yet. Maybe I'll talk about that. But yeah, man. So this one for you. Just want to touch on that, man. You ain't gonna hear me seeing free C murder, freedom. Nah, bro. Look, that's the other thing, man. Y'all need to stop perpetuating freeing convicted criminals that are obviously guilty. I mean, that's another thing. I think just saying free so and so. Now, free the innocent, but don't free these dumb old block niggas, man. They deserve every day that they gonna get in prison for doing this dumb crash out mission, man. But hey, man, this is your boy Ink in the Brain, man. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Y'all be smooth.